This next technique I'm going to describe is blending using a color picker, and it's not as important with Krita because Krita has some excellent brushes and methods of blending, but in many tutorials they describe this approach because some other paint programs don't blend nearly as well. And for certain brushes in Krita you may also want to use this technique. So for this illustration I'm going to use the marker Chisel Smooth, and I'm going to select a color that's fairly dark compared to this flesh tone. And as I draw here I start off very dark, and I'm going to now try to blend that in by lightly letting off the pressure of the brush. And you can see what we get is these kind of hard edges, and it doesn't really blend very well. Now, Krita is extremely powerful, and so I actually have to show you something about the color picker first. So I'm going to go to the color picker, and then I'm going to look at the color picker options. And the thing that you want to pay attention to is blend. Most paint programs do not have this kind of option, and so when I pick a color, it goes completely to that color that I'm over. But in Krita, I can actually blend that color. So in Krita, you actually wouldn't use this technique so much because you would blend to get a better way of doing this. But most paint programs, they have it all the way up, and so I'm going to show you what that looks like because that's how many tutorials will teach it. So with my blend set to 100, I'm going to go back to the paintbrush, and now I'm going to, if I come over the dark color and press Control and click, now you see that it has selected that color. If I go over the light color and click, now you see it has selected that color, and that's the thing that we're going to deal with. And if I go to a little bit lighter area, you'll see that it picks up whatever color you're hovering over. So this is a little bit of a challenging and tedious process, but it can help you, and it may be appropriate for different situations. So to show it a little bit more clearly, I'm going to choose a color that is really a strong color, and I'm going to draw very strongly here. And you can see there's a very big difference between these two different colors. So to blend this edge, I'm going to move over a little bit, and I'm going to use very light pressure and lay down a stroke. Now notice with this particular pen, if I lay down a second stroke, it darkens it up a little bit. So we're getting a little bit of a better transition here. So then what I'll do is I'll come over to the left, and I will press Control, and I will pick up the lighter color. And so when I put the stroke down here, now you'll notice it lightens up even the darker stroke. And so what I do then is I will click here to get that intermediate color and paint down here. And so I kind of go back and forth clicking the different colors to try to lighten or darken different areas depending upon what I need. Going back and forth to get that transition. And so that's the process. Like I said, it's a bit tedious, but that can be helpful depending upon the kind of brush that you're using in Krita. And so one of the key points is if you're watching tutorials from other paint programs about blending, Krita is much more powerful. So that's one real reason to use Krita. It's a great program.